right? So what I know from medicine is that the body keeps the score, right? And there's a book called this.
Mhm.
And any type of insult, whether it be mental or physical, that happens to you, your body does absorb it. And so you have to have ways of dealing with it before it breaks you down, before you hit the burnout, before you have, you know, a mental break. And so this hour of power, this meditation, the affirmations, any type of deep breathing exercises that you're doing, nature walks, it allows you to take a break and it allows some restorative healing. So when you
Mhm.
have this in place, when those things happen, it doesn't necessarily topple you over. It's almost like you put these healing stones in your bank.
Mhm.
When we think
Mhm.
about Thanos or the Avengers or how they call so I've done this meditation. I can call it the bear to support me in any space that I'm in. And we talked about so the story that I'm telling, it's hard, but I feel like through storytelling you can help someone else. There might be someone else, balled up in a corner thinking, this can't be my life. How can this happen to me? I can't talk about it. But I had a friend, a sorority sister, who I used to have a program called Joy for the Journey. And she came on and she started talking about how her brother unalived her father. And this was 10 or 15 years ago. And, horrific, same type situation. And she said that she didn't realize it, but she was grieving for 10 years because she never
Mhm.
acknowledged what happened. She never went through the paces. And because of that, she started shutting her life down bit by bit by bit by bit. She talked about buying a bookshelf and it's just sitting in the house, never putting it together,
Yeah.
not doing some of the things that she normally would have done. So we have to allow ourselves in this space to experience it, as hard as it is. And sometimes that means crying and or getting therapy. I have younger people in my family, nieces and nephews, and they're from a different generation. First thing they're doing is I'm getting some therapy. I'm not going back to work right away. I'm taking my time.
Mhm.
Whereas I'm Generation X, it would have been like, oh, you going back to work Monday? Yeah.
Mhm.
Sucked it up and or my mom, she's a baby boomer, and she said she was talking about the smaller kids getting therapy. I think they're 6 and 2, and she's like, "Do you think they even know what happened?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, there's that energy shift." So we have these resources now that we need to tap into to help ourselves. I'm hoping my story helps someone.